Welcome to today's Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you here today, because we're going on a bit of a rescue mission. We're uncovering the invisible hardware behind high-fidelity audio. You know, we spend so much time obsessing over the flashy stuff, speakers, mixing boards, instruments, but today, we're stripping all of that away to look at the absolute foundational building blocks of modern sound.
Just think about it for a second. How does a tiny, fragile electrical whisper, say the lightest pluck of an acoustic guitar captured by a studio mic, somehow become a stadium-shaking roar? How does that microscopic signal gain the sheer muscle to move massive speaker cones without instantly distorting into garbage? Well, it doesn't happen by magic, that's for sure. It happens through masterful, uncompromising engineering.
Okay, let's dive right into this micro to macro journey. We'll be looking at the audio powerhouse itself, the anatomy of a transistor, the literal magic of amplification, the perfect audio partnership, and finally, some real-world power and pitfalls. All right, Section 1. Meet the audio powerhouse.
Meet our hero for today, the 2SC5200, an NPN bipolar junction transistor originally developed by Toshiba. If you've ever experienced incredibly clear, high-power sound, there is a very good chance this exact piece of tech was hard at work behind the scenes. And the big headline number here? 150 watts. For a tiny semiconductor that literally fits in the palm of your hand, 150 watts of power dissipation is a massive amount of energy. I mean, the physical resilience required to handle that kind of load without instantly vaporizing, it's nothing short of incredible.
To truly appreciate this invisible giant, we really need to talk specs. We're talking about a collector-emitter voltage of 230 volts and a collector current of 15 amps. Shoving that much electricity through a tiny component while letting it reach a blistering 150 degrees Celsius, well, that requires some serious engineering. It essentially just laughs in the face of demanding environments, all while maintaining lightning-fast performance, which you can see in its 30 MHz transition frequency.
Physically, this little beast comes in a heavy-duty TO264 or TO3P package. If you hold it with the text facing you and the pins pointing straight down, you can easily map out its connections from left to right. You've got the base, the collector, and the emitter. And interestingly enough, that large metal tab on the back, the part you bolt onto a heatsink, that is actually internally hardwired right to the collector. Moving on to Section 2, let's look at the anatomy of a transistor.
So, the 2SC5200 is an NPN bipolar junction transistor. Think of it kind of like a microscopic atomic sandwich made up of three very specific layers. You have an N-type emitter, a P-type base, and an N-type collector. These three semiconductor regions, they are the actual literal engine block of our audio powerhouse. They dictate exactly how electricity is allowed to flow through the device.
Which brings us to Section 3, the magic of amplification.
It all happens in this beautiful microscopic chain reaction. Let's walk through it. Step 1. With zero current flowing into that middle layer, the base, the entire junction is completely off. It behaves exactly like an open switch, a closed gate. Step 2. We apply a tiny current to the base. The gate cracks open and electrons start moving from the emitter into the base. But here's the real trick in Step 3. That base layer is incredibly thin. So thin, in fact, that most of those electrons shoot right past it and are violently pulled into the collector layer, creating a massive flow of electricity. Finally, Step 4, that tiny fragile audio signal entering the base now acts as a conductor, perfectly controlling this massive rush of current. And boom, your loudspeakers receive a perfectly scaled-up, incredibly powerful roar.
Think of the base like a tiny valve on a massive, high-pressure water main. A mere 100 milliamp nudge at the base unlocks a collector current of several full amps. And this brilliantly illustrates the literal magic of a current amplifier. A tiny, almost imperceptible electrical effort yields a gigantic, room-shaking output.
Section 4. The perfect audio partnership.
Now, audio is a waveform, right? It has positive peaks and negative valleys. To handle this efficiently, the 2SC5200 rarely works alone. Actually, it relies on a dynamic duo partner, the 2SA1943. While our hero handles the positive half-cycle of the audio wave, its complementary partner is a PNP transistor designed to tag-team the exact opposite, the negative half-cycle.
As our source material highlights, together they reproduce the complete audio waveform with low distortion. They work in absolute, perfectly timed tandem. One pushes, the other pulls. This push-pull relationship guarantees that the full audio wave is recreated flawlessly, supplying massive current to the speaker without muddying up the sound. Honestly, it's an undisputed champion combination in Class AB audio amplification.
Finally, Section 5, Real-World Power and Pitfalls.
So where do these things actually live? Pretty much everywhere large-scale audio is demanded. We're talking professional concert amplifiers, massive home theater setups, heavy-duty PA systems, and robust 100 to 500-watt DJ rigs. This tiny piece of silicon is the beating heart of giant sound systems all over the world. So the crucial point is that engineers choose this specific component for a very good reason. It simply refuses to quit. It offers immense reliability for continuous hours-long operation while keeping that sound quality absolutely pristine. And crucially, it has a massive safe operating area, meaning you can push it incredibly hard across varying voltages and currents without it blowing up. These traits make it a legendary go-to choice for audio builders.
But look, with massive power comes massive heat. You cannot push 150 watts without generating extreme temperatures. If you don't bolt this thing to a massive metal heatsink, it will literally destroy itself. It also requires incredibly precise biasing, which is basically fine-tuning its resting electrical state to work properly. Oh, and the craziest pitfall? Because it's so legendary, the market is absolutely flooded with fake, counterfeit devices. Sourcing authentic parts is a genuine daily drama for people building these circuits.
Because of those counterfeits or just general availability issues, builders often have to turn to equivalent transistors as a backup plan. Modern direct replacements like the TTC5200 or high-end substitutes like the MJL3281A are heavily relied upon. But listen, in the world of high-power audio, you can't just swap parts blindly. You have to carefully verify the pinout, the max voltage, and current gains before making the swap, or you seriously risk frying your whole board.
It is genuinely fascinating to realize just how much raw physical energy is controlled by a delicate, microscopic layer of atoms. So, the next time you're at a concert standing in front of those massive speaker stacks and you feel a bass drop that literally shakes your ribcage, ask yourself, is a tiny 2SC5200 sitting quietly on a metal heatsink the invisible giant behind that exact sound? Thanks for exploring the mechanics of sound with me on today's Explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.